My name is Lara Anderson. I'm 34 years old, and what I'm about to confess changed my life forever. It all began so innocently, just me helping someone who seemed to need guidance. But it went too far. And in the process, I crossed a line I never thought I would. When I married David, I believed our life together would be a steady journey of love, support, and growth. David was reliable, grounded, the kind of man everyone respected and trusted. He worked long hours as a financial advisor, and while he always provided for us, he was often absent in the ways that mattered most. Over the years, our conversations grew shorter, our intimacy faded, and I felt like I was living beside him, not truly with him. Then came Ethan. He wasn't a stranger. He was one of David's oldest friends. At 28, he was younger than me, ambitious yet uncertain, still trying to figure out where he belonged. He had just started working in construction and was struggling to find his footing in life. David, ever practical, dismissed Ethan's struggles as nothing more than growing pains. But when Ethan needed encouragement, advice, and someone to really listen, it wasn't David he turned to, it was me. At first, it was simple. Ethan would drop by while David was at work and ask for guidance. He wanted to know how to manage stress, how to present himself more confidently, how to carry himself even when he felt unsure. I offered him the wisdom I had, glad to feel useful, glad to feel that my words mattered to someone. But slowly, something shifted. The more we talked, the more Ethan opened up, not just about his job, but about his insecurities, his fears, his loneliness. He shared things with me that he claimed he couldn't share with David. And in his honesty, I saw a vulnerability that pulled me in. His eyes searched for reassurance every time he looked at me, and whenever I gave it, I felt a warmth I hadn't felt in my marriage for years. One afternoon, Ethan came over to show me the plans for a project he was working on. His excitement was contagious, and I couldn't help but smile as he explained every detail. "I've never had anyone believe in me the way you do," he said softly. His words lingered in the air, heavier than either of us expected. In that moment, I realized just how dangerous this connection had become. But instead of pulling away, I leaned closer. I told myself it was only encouragement, just kindness. Yet deep down, I knew it was more. Over the following weeks, the tension between us grew. Each visit carried an unspoken energy. His glances lingered too long, his compliments felt heavier than they should, and my heart raced in ways it hadn't in years. One evening, when I handed him a cup of coffee, our hands brushed. It felt like fire under my skin. I pulled back quickly, but it was already too late. We both knew this was no longer innocent. The night everything changed, David was away on a business trip. Ethan came over to ask for help preparing for an important meeting. We sat together, going through his notes, but the air felt thick with unspoken tension. He looked at me, nervous yet intent, and said, "Lara, I don't know what I'd do without you." His words broke something inside me. For so long, I had felt invisible, unappreciated, forgotten. But here was someone who not only noticed me but valued me in a way my husband hadn't in years. I told myself I was simply giving him strength, just being supportive. But when his hand covered mine, I didn't move away. In that quiet moment, with nothing but the sound of our breathing filling the room, the line between guidance and desire blurred. I knew it was wrong. I knew I was betraying David, betraying my vows, betraying the woman I thought I was. But I also knew I couldn't deny how alive I suddenly felt. What happened between us that night wasn't planned. It wasn't logical. It was raw, emotional, overwhelming. And though it filled me with guilt, it also reignited a passion I hadn't felt in years. The days that followed were a blur of secrecy and confusion. Ethan tried to act as though nothing had changed, but every time he looked at me, I could see the truth in his eyes. I tried to refocus on my marriage, but David's absence only made the distance between us clearer. I don't know how long we can keep this secret, or if it will one day come to light. But I know one thing for certain: what began as me trying to help a young man find confidence turned into something neither of us could control. And once that line was crossed, there was no turning back. This isn't a story I'm proud of, it's a confession. A reminder that when someone finally makes you feel seen after years of invisibility, temptation can become stronger than reason. Ethan needed my guidance, but I never expected it would lead us here.